Wait, what is going on, guys? It has been a long time since we've done anything on this channel.
UK reactions in the chat?
We have JoJo in the chat.
Okay. I saw UK reactions.
Yeah, we got JoJo in the chat. Yeah, sorry for the really last minute live stream. I had originally planned to do this, I think, last Saturday, and then my goal was to do it yesterday. But then the Kentucky Derby was happening. I didn't want to interrupt that, or because obviously I'm sure everyone's having parties and get-togethers for that, and I did not want to overlap that. So decided to just do an update video today or live stream. And there's a lot to talk about. A ton of stuff has been going on since the season has ended. Players leaving, players coming back, new possibilities for next season. But before we say anything else, let's really want to start by saying, first and foremost, thoughts and prayers out to Terrence Clark and his family and friends. I mean, it goes without saying. It was kind of crazy when I made that post on the community tab for YouTube. Literally, someone had commented a second after I posted saying, "Did you hear about Terrence Clark?" And I looked it up really quick. And at that point, it was just a rumor. I'm like, please tell me it's just some sick rumor. And I still can't really believe it. But just terrible. It's terrible when you lose anyone way too young like that. And it's just a horrible situation. So definitely just want to say that before we say anything else, because obviously we're going to complain about different things from last season going forward. We always complain about ridiculous stuff, but nothing compares to something that severe. So I just wanted to say.
Yeah, I saw that. I was hoping that was fake when I saw it, but then looked it up.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it still isn't really real, to be honest.
Only he didn't play too much in the season, so he didn't play that much, but still.
He played in the last game. No, definitely. I mean, like you said, he didn't play probably the majority of the season, but that last game, once again, there's so much to talk about, because that last game, the last live stream, I wasn't even here because I was at school teaching, and it was just like, I remember I turned on the game for a few seconds and I saw Clark on the court, and I was like really excited, but it was just like, at that point, it was such a frustrating game, and there was just so many weird things going on with the season. Our dog's about to destroy our cat right now for some reason.
Okay, Mom, can you just don't crumple a bag? I don't know what you're thinking.
Okay, but what I was trying to say though is, there's just so much to talk about. I'm going to go through the coaches that have left, possible hirings to come in, and then also players and all that. I'm going to go down a whole list of that, just so you guys probably already know all this completely, but just so we can address it in this video for anyone that doesn't know, because trust me, there's a lot of stuff with transitions and players. And sorry for the noise, guys. This is just typical live stream here at UK Reactions. But no, Andy Chin, good to see you in here. JoJo. Once again, I apologize for the last second live stream. I wanted to have this be more of a week in advance type thing, so then you guys could come in, because I'm sure there's going to be so many that have no idea about this going on. I mean, it's a Sunday at 2 o'clock practically. This is not the best time for a live stream, but we'll be doing a lot more live streams going forward and a lot of uploads to come, because like I said, there's just so much content that I've been teasing for years now, and it's going to be coming out. But just also update videos on recruiting players that we've landed. Believe it or not, I'm actually not that far behind on the recruiting videos. I still need to get the Sky Clark video out there, even though he's not going to be playing for this season. He'll be the 2022-23 season, like the next season. Or wait, what year would that be? Yeah, it's so confusing right now. But Sky Clark is not for this season, but I still need to do his video. Also, Kellen Grady, he was the latest addition, a senior point guard from Davidson, which is kind of crazy. We actually played against him when we played them in the second round, or first round actually, of the 2017-18 tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be a long ride again, remembering people's names.
Yeah.
I remembered everyone's names this year, then here we go again.
But in a second, I will be going down the roster list as of right now. I think we were at 9, but with the decommitment from Nolan Hickman. But again, I'm jumping all around the place now. Before we get into the roster lineup, just wanted to talk about that last live stream we did, because obviously Kenny and my dad was doing it, BK. And I think I actually was on it for maybe a few seconds at halftime. I did FaceTime in.
Yeah, you made a call-in.
A quick appearance, but yeah, it was.
It was pretty bad because I was running the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, just that game. I'll speak on that kind of quickly. It was really, really awesome when I turned it on, because, like I said, I was teaching, and it was kind of a good time for the game. We had recess and silent reading, so I had the game on the projector screen, and I'm like, guys, we're not going to read until this game's over. It was like 2 minutes ago. And I was just so happy. Dante Allen was going off.
We were up by like 10, right?
You're right. I think we were up by like 4 or 5.
I want to forget the game.
But all I know is we were losing practically the entire game. And I think we were down by like 11. It was double digits at halftime. Yeah. And I turned it on, and we were making a comeback. Allen was hitting major shots. Yeah. And it just seemed like it was just like the tide was turning to our favor. Like, we are so due for a moment like this. And as you all know, we had the lead, and then yet another late game collapse. And I had to watch that live with my entire classroom. And I said, guys, because like before the last play, I think we were down by 1. Yeah, I think we were down by 1,
yeah.
and we had one more shot to go. And I said, class, like, no matter what happens on the shot, we have to go straight into reading. If Kentucky wins this game, we'll go outside for extra recess. If they miss it, we're going to go back to reading. They miss a shot. I'm like, okay, guys, start reading. And I was just so mad. But obviously, I was at school, so I couldn't do too much. But, yeah, it was very
we got the shot we wanted.
I mean, we did, but still, like, I mean, it's very fitting end to a season of just disappointment and misery. And, yeah.
Ended our suffering.
It did. I mean, unfortunately, we still had hope. I know most of you still had hope at that point. Like maybe we could turn things around, get into the tournament, and obviously it just did not end that way. But you know what? Maybe for the better. Just move forward, and that's the last I'm going to talk about last season for now. And from this point on in this live stream, it's going forward. So
Juzang did a lot better than
that's the last. We're not going to mention that name. Johnny Juzang, props to you, man. If you're watching this, you definitely impressed both of us. Every time we watched you play in the actually he's on the stream. Every time we watched him play, he just did absolutely amazing. I could not believe, like, I knew he was talented, but I had no clue that he'd be scoring 30+ points in the Final Four against Gonzaga.
Like, he's a Kentucky player,
no
so it's
way.
worth mentioning.
Oh no, definitely.
I mean, he was good for Kentucky on a really good team. Like, he was a backup. He was like, what, our 5th or 6th best player, 6th or 7th best player.
Oh yeah,
really
he
good
barely
team.
played.
Yeah, and then he leaves. And he played good for us, but then he just turns into an effing monster.
But he was like you said, a role player on our team last year, and he moved on from that to just being probably the best player in UCLA. I mean, you can make the argument he might have been the best player in UCLA last year. He was probably the reason that they went to the Final Four, and really, it took a half-court buzzer-beating 3 by Gonzaga in overtime to beat them.
No, it was the most dominant display I've ever seen out of a player like that. Like,
yeah,
he was going to the basket, telling Michigan he was going to shoot the ball, and they couldn't stop him. He was telling him they couldn't. I really wish we could have held on to him, and I really hope it's not because of players being pushed out. I hope it's not an Allen situation.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on with people leaving and transferring and decommitting, and I'm sick and tired of hearing the reason that they're homesick, because guess what? Like, people are playing across the entire country, and I understand every now and then that might be true. If there's like a bad family situation going on, you want to be back next to with your parents and stuff. But I'm tired of hearing, like, just Nolan Hickman in the articles that I'm reading said that he decommitted because he didn't want to be homesick. I mean, he hasn't even left yet to be at Kentucky. So there's just a lot of stuff about that. I remember that Askew said that's exactly. Askew kind of made the same comment, and you all saw where he transferred to. So Devin Askew, after I say this, I'll get into the roster. But Devin Askew said he was homesick and he wanted to leave Kentucky for that reason. And he was from California, right? He transferred to Texas.
So he was lying. I
mean, I guess that's closer to California than Kentucky, but that doesn't really make sense. I mean, at least Juzang went back to the West Coast. So I guess same thing with Marcus Lee. He did go back to the West Coast as well. But I'm just tired of hearing this stuff. I mean, now transfers are just part of the deal. Every single offseason, there's just the transfer portal is honestly more of a recruiting place now than actual high school players. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of players in that transfer portal and like how much it's increased from year to year to year. It's a lot of people on there.
Maybe the left side of Texas.
Zach Turner, what's going on? Good to see you in here. Dylan Rydell. Sorry, I missed your comment. I will be catching up to the chat here in a second. But just so I can get this, just so I can say this right now, here is who we have on our roster as of right now, May 2nd, 2021. We have wait, got the wrong team there.
Virginia.
Football team there.
You have an OCA team?
The football team roster.
There'd be a lot of players.
For the wrong school.
Football. Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, but here's our roster, though. So, like I said before, we have returning from last season, which this is actually very, very good news in my mind. We have Dante Allen. That is the biggest one. The biggest one. I mean, just go back to any one of our live streams from last season, and how many times did we say if we lose Dante Allen, we're going to lose our minds. But as of right now, Dante Allen is pretty much locked in for next season. We have that is a big one. We have Jacob Toppin. So Dante Allen will be a redshirt sophomore next season. We have Jacob Toppin, who will be a junior, believe it or not. He was a sophomore last year because he transferred from Rhode Island the year before. We have Lance Ware coming back for his sophomore season. So that's 3 returning players right there. Jacob Toppin, Lance Ware, Dante Allen. And there could be more. There's ones that have not decided yet. But once I say who's on the roster, I'll get into those in a second. So we have Dante Allen, Jacob Toppin, Lance Ware. And then as far as the incoming freshman class, it's only 2 players. Damian Collins, who is definitely looks like a stud, major guy. 5-star power forward, as you all know. Looks like a tall Nerlens Noel to me. I haven't seen enough footage on him to really say who I think he'll be at Kentucky, but he has the potential to be amazing.
It's not
who?
As of last year, people ripping you about
Boston. So if it doesn't turn out to be that. Bryce Hopkins, who we all know was a decommitment from Louisville, so we stole him from them. Who's a 4-star power forward. So Damian Collins, Bryce Hopkins, Lance Ware, and Jacob Toppin are 4 of our bigs. Either small forward or more or taller. And then the big one that I have a video on the channel, Oscar Tshiebwe, who looks like a stud. Like he's been on the bench. I forget when he actually joined the bench during the season, but when he did, he just looks like, you've seen pictures of him, and he looks like an absolute stud. He looks like Zion Williamson in some ways. Obviously, he's a different player.
He's like 6'8".
He's like, let me see. I have the height right here.
He's big. He's like 200 pounds.
Tshiebwe's 6'9", but he's built. Like he's ripped. Like he is very, very strong and powerful.
Exactly what we need.
He's exactly what we need. Let's hope he is. And the footage now, I have watched a lot of footage on Oscar Tshiebwe, and some of his highlights they blew me away. And it's hard. There's been highlights now where I've seen him I don't know. I'm not seeing too much. Like Toppin, I'll admit when I was wrong. I don't think Toppin was going to be that great last season, but he might have been one of our best players last year with how he actually played out there on the court. But Tshiebwe blew me away with his footage from West Virginia. So that's about. Let me see. Just so I'm exactly right here. Toppin, Allen, Ware, Collins, Hopkins, Tshiebwe. That's 6, and then Kellen Grady, a 6'5" point guard. That's pretty tall for a point guard.
We have a point guard.
Well, he's technically a point guard. I mean, the way he looked like he kind of played off the ball.
He's going to be our point guard as of right now.
As of right now, he's the point guard. You're right, because he's a former 4-star point guard, but he's a grad transfer senior from Davidson, so he's going to be very experienced. And so far, every single transfer that we've gotten, I've really, really you can say what you will about how they've played. As far as their leadership and their lack of just not being a bad teammate out there has been great. Like they've
Travis,
Sestina, Mintz, Sarr. I know a lot of people might have been frustrated with Sarr's play.
He played good to start. He definitely struggled.
But you could tell he was passionate and he tried. He never was I never said get him off the court. It was only because of shots not going in, and you know what? You can't control that. All you can control is your hustle and your heart. So I'll take more of those players as opposed to freshmen that don't want to work hard out there on the court. So I guess what is that? My roster's wrong right now because Hickman, I still have my roster. Nolan Hickman, that's the latest piece of news, has decommitted from Kentucky. I was really excited about him. I thought he was going to be a taller Tyler Ulis, and now we really won't get to see him play for Kentucky because of, again, the homesickness excuse. So we have Kellen Grady and Dante Allen as the only guards. That's good that Kellen Grady's listed as a point guard, but from all the articles that I'm reading, it sounds like Kellen Grady is not expected to come in to be the point guard because right now we're technically –
I might have to be the point guard.
Kenny might be the point guard next season. But right now we have 2 guards and Kellen Grady, Dante Allen, and then we have – our bigs are looking okay right now. We have Toppin. Again, he's more like a small forward, but he is listed as far as 3 the third position, 3 through 5, or small forward to center. So Toppin, Ware, Tshiebwe, Collins, Hopkins, and then 2 guards. That's 7 players. And
it's the ideal number, honestly.
Well, obviously, with a championship team, we had 7, but that was a different group.
We'll have some, yeah.
But then there's the list of players that have left. BJ Boston declared for the draft. Devin Askew left, went to Texas. We also had Isaiah Jackson declared for the draft. I know he left the door open to return. I've not heard anything differently since then.
He's not.
But I really have a hard time believing that he'll be back, especially with how loaded we are. at this position where he would be around. Obviously, he would take the starting position 100%, but I'm not going to believe he's coming back till I see it in writing and hear him say it through his voice. But that's still a possibility for him to come back, Isaiah Jackson. And then the 3 players that we're still waiting on, is it 3 players or is it 2 players?
Well, Sarr, Askew.
Well, Sarr's gone. Sarr's gone. He could have came back and used the COVID year if he wanted, but he's not going to do it. But Davion Mintz and Keon Brooks Jr. are the 2 players that
we don't know.
We don't know. It's been rumored both ways. There were some really bad rumors going around for Brooks, but that's actually flipped since the last I've heard. At one point, they were saying Keon Brooks Jr. wanted to transfer to Indiana, which is where he's from, his home state. But since then, they've said there's been actual sources that have told either Matt Jones or someone within who has a very good insider position with Kentucky has heard that Keon Brooks Jr. will be returning for his junior season, which I would love a lot.
Well, who would you rather have back, Mintz or Brooks?
Well, we only have 7, so there's at least 3 positions left.
Well, yeah, you can only have 1 now.
Out of those 2,
one comes back.
I mean, I would have to say Mintz.
That's how I would say.
The Mintz situation, I'm telling you, I've been researching and I've been looking it up. I've not heard much of anything on Davion Mintz except people just saying, like, well, he played really great last year, so how much more can he improve his draft stock or, like, playing overseas? And I think a guy like Mintz wants to win. He wants to win, and that trumps everything else. So I think a guy like Mintz deserves, and he owes it to himself to come back next season and play on a winning basketball team, because he was the one reason why we probably weren't 2-18 last season. I mean, how many games did Mintz single-handedly win for us?
Yeah, I feel like it was every single game we won. We were talking about player of the game. I always said Mintz.
Because
I said Mintz every time.
His heart,
player of the game.
His heart, how he played. I mean, I can't tell you how many major 3-point shots he would hit when we were up 10 points with 4 minutes to go. Then all of a sudden it's a 1-point game. And then you have Mintz drilling a 3 against Auburn, Vanderbilt, 3-row against South Carolina. I mean, he's a stud that I really want back. And if we get Davion Mintz back and Brooks back, that'll give us 9 total players on our roster, and still leaves the door open to add 1, maybe 2 more guys. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. 7 guys as of right now. We're still waiting on Brooks, Mintz, and I guess technically Isaiah Jackson. So if we got all 3 of those back, then we don't need anyone else that we don't know about yet. But say if we lose 2 of those 3, then we do need to add someone that we don't know about right now. But I mean, you've probably heard the names that have been thrown out there, but there's a lot of names being tossed out there just because they're entering the transfer portal. We had a chance with that Illinois guy. We had a chance with a number of guys that have chosen to not play with us, which in my mind is telling me that we are going to get some of those guys back that I just listed out of the 3. Before I continue, let me just catch up to the chat here. JoJo Allen was on fire. He hit 23 points again. I know that. I'm so frustrated that I couldn't have watched that live with you guys. I can only watch it on a delayed projector screen in my classroom. It would have been really nice to watch that live and be cheering it on with you guys. But it seemed like he went off again. And I saw a couple of those threes, and it just looked very reminiscent to when he went off at Mississippi State earlier in the year. Andy Chin, he was going to be a corner piece for an NBA franchise. He had an elite talent, and that was untapped. It's just so sad and depressing. No, I agree with you. Terrence Clark definitely, just because it didn't really play out like it was supposed to at Kentucky, we've seen many guys before not pan out at Kentucky and then turn out to be great in the NBA. I mean, that's way too many times, but you're 100% right. Terrence Clark, his potential was we couldn't even speak on how good he could play, because with his build and how talented he was, footage I've seen, there was no ceiling to how good he could possibly be in the NBA. And he was built for the NBA, to be honest. The way he played, and I think he would have been a very, very good player. And like you said, could have been an absolute corner piece for an NBA franchise.
There's no doubt he handled the ball the best of the team. I mean, Askew we were always complaining about, but when Clark was out there, there's no doubt he handled the ball better. He was injured for so much of the year that Askew took over a lot, but he definitely handled the ball.
No, you're 100% right. Like you said, it's just terrible and really is depressing to even think about. Dylan Rydell says, since Nolan Hickman decommitted and Adam Miller committed to LSU, who do you think we will get at point guard? Do you think Davion Mintz and Keon will come back? I mean, in my opinion, see, once again, I think Davion Mintz is a great player, but I don't want him to be the point guard. I really want to have a really good point guard for him to play off the ball, because you saw what happened last year. I mean, Mintz can play the point, and I think both Keon Brooks and Davion Mintz will come back next season, but I don't want Mintz to be the point guard. I think Mintz would be an absolutely lethal off the ball type guy. Because you can imagine if we had a guy like Ulis leading the team and being the point guard, allowing Davion Mintz to spot up and just be around the outside, kind of like a Quickley. Because Quickley was never the point guard. He was always off the ball, and Haggins would feed it to him. So I don't want Mintz to be the point guard for next season. Maybe this Colin Grady could turn out to be a good point guard. I mean, he's listed as a point guard at least. But I really want us to find some really, really good point guard that's still available somewhere. And trust me, there's still choices. I mean, it's not like we're out of options. There's a ton of options that we haven't even heard about yet that I think that we'll end up getting for this point guard position. But in my opinion, to answer your question, Dylan, I do think that we will get Brooks and Mintz back for next season. But last year I said I think we would get everybody back. We got one guy back.
We got a lot more back this year than I expected. But
yeah.
I think Cal's got to have something in mind because he knew Clark was leaving. That was our point guard.
Yeah.
He knew, I mean, obviously, Askew, I don't know when he found out about him leaving.
He's known for months.
So he knew those two were leaving. And then, I mean, if he knew Mintz was not for sure, so there's no way that was in mind. So we have basically every area covered right now, the big man, the guards. Really, the only thing we don't have is the point guard. So I really wonder, Cal's got to be looking for someone.
Well, no, Cal, he has to have a plan. He's not just sitting somewhere like running around like out of with a chicken with his head cut off, like running around. I don't understand what's going on. He has a plan. He has to have a plan. You don't get paid the money that he does at Kentucky. You have no plan.
Maybe he was expecting that one guy to not decommit, but still.
I mean, that's possible, but you still have to have a backup plan in case something like that happens. I mean, nowadays decommitments and guys transferring is just part of it. I mean, unfortunately, that's just part of the deal. But yeah, no, I do think we will get those two back for next season.
Just want to say what's up, BBN. Mountain Warriors here.
That does bring up a good point though. With a reason why that we lost Nolan Hickman is without a doubt the coaching situation with Kentucky basketball. Like it started last season by losing Kenny Payne. Kenny Payne goes to take an assistant coaching job or some kind of job with the New York Knicks, and after that, this postseason we've lost. It's either Joel or Joel Justice to. He basically he got promoted onto he took an assistant coaching job at Arizona State. It's not even a head coaching job, but an assistant job. I think it's a higher assistant job than what he had at Kentucky, or else why would you leave Kentucky for an assistant job, the same position at Arizona State? This doesn't make sense unless it's a higher paying job. So we lost Joel Justice to Arizona State for an assistant coaching job, and we also lost Tony Barbee to Central Michigan for a head coaching job, which that makes sense. I mean, when assistant coaches, look at Alabama. They lose guys every single year for better jobs. That's kind of just how it is. But that's kind of uncharted territory, uncharted waters for Kentucky fans to be dealing with. Because usually we've had a pretty set coaching staff year in and year out. I mean,
Alabama's been able to switch coaches and still win championships.
Well, yeah, and it's no excuse at all. Because that's just part of it. Most schools you lose your coaches every year, especially football. There's so many. It's hard to get everyone back.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the coaching situation right now is we still have. I can't pronounce. It's like John Robick or something like that. We still have him. Obviously, John Calipari still.
That's true.
He's still there.
Is the guy you just said the assistant coach?
He's the one that talked to you.
No.
Well, we should still have him as well. But the guy who talked to you at the free throw competition when we were kids, like he's still there.
Well, just the guy who stepped in when Cal got ejected.
What's his Bruiser Flint?
Yeah, he won us that game.
He did.
He almost has a better record than Cal.
Yeah, no, he's 1-0. But we still have him. We also this is probably the biggest addition piece of news that we might have. It's not official yet, but I'm sure this name might ring a bell for a lot of you guys. Orlando Antigua, that's how I pronounce his last name, is supposedly going to be at Kentucky next season, which is huge news. I've been asking for this ever since he left back in after that 38-0 year. I think he left that offseason. To get a guy like him back is such big news if it's true, because at one point it was down to us in Illinois as to where he was going to go, and I can't believe Illinois was able to match our pay option for that. I feel like we should have more of a reach than Illinois, but luckily it seems like we've won that battle between us and Illinois to get Orlando Antigua's service for next year, and that'll be a big pickup to get him back. I really wish we get Kenny Payne back, but that one doesn't seem like it's going to happen very likely, despite his son still being there. I thought his son being a walk-on, Zan Payne, would at least get him to stay till he graduates, but he left when he was still there. which is kind of frustrating. But like I said, getting Orlando Tigua back into Kentucky's program is huge news when it's true. There'll be a video on that 100% when it happens. Just like I said, there's a lot of videos I have to get out there to update where we're at with Kentucky. I still have to put the Sky Clark video out, the Kellen Grady video out. I might not do a video on guys decommitting. I mean, I know last year I did videos of guys like going pro or not. I might just do one big video just talking about maybe just calling it like who's gone, who's back, something like that. Just because I don't want to like be doing. You guys already know most of this information anyways. Just to, like just one big quick update video, like okay, these players have gone pro and these players are coming in, just something like that, just to update. I will do separate videos for the guys that have committed, like Kellen Grady and Sky Clark. But just as far as like NBA decisions go, I know last year I did separate videos for each guy, but because I'm behind, I'm just gonna do one video on that just to update it all at once, kind of. And hey, there's still videos to be made as far as Isaiah Jackson, Davion Mintz, and Keon Brooks Jr. because those three have yet to really make an official announcement yet. I know Jackson did say he's going pro, but he purposely said he's leaving the door open to possibly come back for next season. Which again, it's frustrating to hear, but I mean, if it's true, I'll be super excited because Jackson was. If it wasn't for Mintz, I mean, Jackson he definitely improved the most probably from the beginning of the year to the end of the year because he was actually really like performing really really well. I mean, he had great little moments to start, but the fact that he was actually playing legit basketball towards I'm not sure what month it was, but he definitely was one of the more powerful players for us to finish the year out. Shot blocking wise too, he's up there as one of the best in the Cal era. Honestly,
he has potential like ESPN top 10 play dunks that barely missed.
Yeah, just like Monk. JoJo says, "I hope Keon Brooks and Davion will come back. Let's hope." No, I'm right there with you, JoJo, 100%. Zach Turner next season should be a good one, but I hate that Hickman left. I hope Mintz and Brooks come back. I know it does suck that Hickman's gone. I mean, once again, I thought he had the potential to be a taller Tyler Ulis. Yeah, well, you know what, JoJo? I wish we would have because I mean, obviously I'd watch him play in any tournament. But if Kentucky was in the NIT, that would have been fun to watch him play a couple more times. But even if they did, I have a bad feeling that certain players would have opted out just because that's just how the certain guys are now with bowl games when you're not playing for a championship. But obviously, we'd still be doing live streams if we could be playing Anderson High School and do a live stream for that.
Yeah.
But and then Andy Chin says, Wagner can't get here soon enough. Ooh, are you talking about the guy from Michigan? If he's available, hold on, let me search that really quick. Hey, Andy, comment about that again. Who are you talking about with that? Like I said, there's so many names.
Tore the building down.
Who?
That guy that tore the building down in the arm wrestling.
Well, I don't know if we're getting him. If we got him, we'd be championship bound. But Andy says, he also says, I'm sick of the homesick bull crap as well. Now I know. It's because, like I said, every now and then that's true. I'm not going to say you're never homesick. I mean, I'd be homesick too if I was gone for a long time, maybe. I don't know exactly, but this doesn't happen every single player that leaves to go somewhere. Because guess what? If you're trying to play at Kentucky for a year to try to play pro, I mean, get over it and just suck it up for a year. You'll be making a lot of money in a year if you do that. I don't think we're gonna. JoJo says, hopefully we can be undefeated for Kentucky next season. That would be nice. I mean, these two guys should have been undefeated over there. I mean, he was 2 games away from undefeated. And then wait. Yeah, no, JoJo's right there with Andy on this homesick too, and Zach. Yeah, I'm tired of the homesick stuff. It gets on my nerves. I know it really is because like it seems like it's like fake. Like when it's fake, it's really annoying. Like just say like, you know what? I mean, I'm not sure what you would say, but I mean, just don't make it lies. At least just be honest with it. Because like I said, it could be true every now and then, but not every time. Mountain Warriors, good to see you in here. Go check out that channel, Mountain Warriors.
Great channel.
And then JoJo, yes. Let's not go 1-6 next season. Let's hope we never go 1-6 again in our lives. That was unlike anything we've ever experienced as Kentucky fans, and I don't want to experience it again. And then, Andy, we need to make full court press on Bates. He decommitted from Michigan State, #1 player in the nation. I was just reading about that, Andy. I'd be right there with you, but it sounds like Cal had backed off him a little bit before he even committed to Michigan State. Obviously, he's the #1 player in the nation. He's a highly rated guy. Like this guy is – he's #1 for a reason. I'd be all in for getting him if we could. But it seems like he could possibly be skipping college all entirely, which is what a lot of guys do now, or at least not a lot, but some guys are doing. and he seems like he's going down that path. But if not, sign him up. I'm all for it. We completely endorse getting, I can't even pronounce his first name, but Bates on our team next season. Damian Collins is so underrated. He's a 5-star, but I do agree he was on the lower part of the 5-star list from this latest batch of players. So I do get what you're saying there, Andy. And then Zach, Kentucky got the next Zion with Oscar. Let's hope so. We deserve a Zion, but see, if we did, there's no way the coverage would have been like what Puke got. Like no one would be saying the Dukies like I heard after a 30-point loss, and you're gonna act like they're like good still. Like Zion, get out of here.
For God, she was never gonna get that.
Yeah, never. Even though he's taller, and actually I don't know if he's taller, but he might be. I think he probably is taller by a little bit.
I'm gonna go help.
All right. I'm just going to catch up really quick. Hey, J.K. Bezo, good to see you in here. Dylan Rydell, all you guys. Hey, if I miss your name, I'll get to it in a second, okay?
So you can keep going.
Scott, good to see you in here.
Yeah, definitely. I will be in more videos. Obviously, when the season starts, I'll be in videos. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to be doing. Other than that, might help out with some editing with videos. But
yeah,
good luck to Kentucky and the offseason, and hopefully come back better and stronger next year.
Definitely. And one quick comment I was just talking to Kenny about was there's an article out there about Keon Brooks, and they actually used one of my videos from UK Reactions, and they didn't really cite my page on the article. They did like leave my channel on there on the video. But if you're watching this video and you made that article, give us a shout out or something, man. You can't be using my content for free. No, you can't. But
they did shout
you out. Yeah, you can use it for free, but just like it's like school. Like cite your source.
Just as you're in Kentucky doesn't mean you get to use our YouTube channel for free.
just because you're a Kentucky fan doesn't mean you can just use my content for free.
Wait, so it's on YouTube, so it's free, right? No.
Valcourt, good to see you in here. Yeah, no, you're right, guys. I'm sorry for falling behind the chat. I started to talk way too long there without looking at the chat, so I'm trying to catch up, and I'm way behind. Andy thinks Oscar's a hybrid between Bam and Chuck Hayes. Wow. Now that you said that, I'm actually seeing that completely. So I'm with you on that 100%, Andy. Good. No, JoJo, they definitely will 100% honor Terrence Clark in the NBA draft. I mean, I'll be shocked if they don't. I mean, the amount of just attention he got that night, I'll be shocked if they don't do any kind of memorial or some kind of service during that, especially when Boston picks because he's from there. Apparently, I think he is. That's what I was hearing on different articles. Yeah, JoJo, you're right. Speaking of that, Zion Williamson, when he picked Puke, there's a video. I know I told you guys this before, but I had the video on my phone, and that will be posted at some point, guys. There's so many reactions to games and just moments relating to Kentucky basketball that are not out there yet from us. That I cannot wait till at one point, like everything will be out there, just so you can see it in its entirety. But when Zion Williamson picked Duke that night, it was before Kentucky played Florida, and I filmed our reaction, and it's a quick one because as soon as he says he'll be playing for the Brotherhood at Duke University, or Puke University, excuse me, we have an immediate reaction. The camera cuts off, so stay tuned for that. Might have to blur out the last line, but oh shoot. And then Andy, mad scientist, took DNA from Bam and Chuck Hayes, created Oscar. Possibly. I wouldn't be shocked. And then that's right, JoJo. Hey, definitely go check out JoJo. You should put your Instagram user on there just so people can find you on there to watch your shows when you live stream. Because I'm excited too to watch your Basketball Things TV show, just like Stranger Things. I've been tuning in almost every live stream that I can, as long as I'm not at work. You know, I'm UK Hoops 8 when you see that in there in your live streams. Again, I'm trying to change my Instagram name to where it says UK Reactions. When I made that, I did not have this channel. It wasn't called UK Reactions at all. So this is all, it needs to be updated, and so it's easier to know like, oh, this is the same account, same group. But yeah, I mean, the Twitter that I'm not very active on is UK Reactions, and I think I have it linked on my most videos, as well as the Instagram. Like I said, that's actually a good point. I mean, I should have mentioned this when I started. I've been very behind on videos and live streams ever since the season ended because it's no excuse. I mean, we all have lives. We all have jobs. We have to work. But I did start a full-time job starting basically at March 1st, which is why I was so hard-pressed to get videos out during that time. and I work a couple other smaller jobs on top of that. So it's just been really tough. And I don't want to get videos out there if it's not the best work that I can give. Because I could push out like half videos, and there's just no point. I want to make sure like I'm giving effort and making it how I want it to be. So the channel's not going anywhere. I'm still here, and once I have more time, so once summer starts, I'll be getting back to a lot more uploads. Because again, there's so much stuff that I want this channel to go out to be, and I just need the time to do it. But again, like I apologize for the lack of just nothing since that last game against Mississippi State. It's been literally just silence on here. I think we all needed some time off after the season ended, but at the same time, I apologize, and I will be getting much more stuff on this channel. It's the full-time teaching job I just took on. Has definitely been taking a lot of my time during the week. And then let's see. Dylan says, I say we get Brooks, Mintz, and Ty Washington to complete our roster. That name right there, Ty Washington. I don't want to speak out of ignorance right now, as I don't know enough about him to say much. But I have heard that name circulating around different forums that I follow, as far as like when I'm researching who could possibly like complete our roster for next year. But that's definitely a possibility. Let me search that really quick. See, when I hear that name, I think of the guy that was Mr. Basketball in Kentucky a couple years ago. That's who I think of when I hear that. That's not him, is it? No. He's a point guard. Ooh, a point guard from 2021. And he hasn't committed anywhere yet. But it looks like Arizona's favored. Okay. A 6'3", 185 point guard from Compass Prep. Well, hey, I'm not opposed to it. He looks like he's the number 26 player in the country. So I would not be opposed to that. Not at all. So, Dylan, I'm right there with you on that. Like I said, there'll be a video updating, like, once the roster's complete, just, like, with some cool graphics, just so you can see who we have locked in. Because, again, like I said, I don't have much time to, like, see. I mean, obviously, I look up every single day, even when I'm busy, like, who we're going after and if any news happens. But, yeah, that's a name I've been hearing. So that's a possibility. We're on the list. We're on the top 5 or 4 that I'm seeing here. So that's a start. And yeah, no, definitely. I mean, if we want to be in like a good position to win a championship, which again, we just need to be a good basketball team first and win some games. But getting Brooks, Mintz, and Isaiah Jackson back is that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. If that happens. And then let's see, Andy Bates back in the market, full court press on him. Cal needs to be on the phone with Imani. I can't pronounce his first name right now. I'm sure they've reached out and we're in the discussion for that. But again, it's so hard. I wish that overseas option, like just skipping college, wasn't a choice, because then you'd be like, oh, what school is he going to go to? But now it's what school is he going to go to, or is he even going to go to school? And then J.K. Bezo, Kentucky didn't belong in the tournament, not the NIT. They had a losing season, worst team in decades, too many good mid-majors, better record. That's a good point, too. I mean, like I said, when I said I would watch them in the NIT, I obviously would. But you're right. We did not really deserve to be in the NIT. The way that we finished the year, I mean, you don't make many tournaments with the record that we had, not at all. And it might have even been a reduced field. I can't remember exactly how they did it, just with COVID and stuff. I'm sure they might have said less teams got into that one, even though the real one was still the same. But you're right. It was just a year where it's like just ended. Like Kenny had said, just put us out of our misery from last season, from that perspective. But no, you're right. I hope you're right, J.K. Bezo. Kentucky going to be much better next year. We have to. It's plain and simple. I mean, Cal has got to get it figured out, and we've got to have a better year. There's zero excuses. It's time to go and get Kentucky back to the standard that we have established, and go back to being the gold standard of college basketball. Because we definitely did not uphold that title at all last year. JoJo, Kentucky going to be better next season. We will we will. I just want us to have a great season. I'm right there with you, JoJo. We definitely need to, and I'm hoping we do too. That was very brutal watching how many finishes did not end the right way last year. And hey, I'm definitely seconding, endorsing JoJo getting an assistant coaching job with Kentucky basketball. So if you want to use that clip, put that out there. If you were on the coaching staff last year, JoJo, we would not have been we would not have been as bad as we were last year. I can tell you that right now. Hopefully, Stranger Things 4 will be good next season. Hey, like I said, I've watched the first season of that. I need to watch 2 and 3 before I can watch the fourth one. But hey, I like the first season. It was good. Yes, and that's right. I think you guys might have been commenting this before I started talking about that, but yeah, Orlando Antigua should be back next year. It sounds like it's almost everything but official right now. And then let's see. Andy says, I think that was a mutual thing. Cal making changes. He told Justice time to move on. That's true too. That's very possible. Once again, when we're talking about this stuff, we don't know all the ins and outs that what happened inside the program and between the people. So that I could definitely see that happen to where Cal just said, yeah, it's time to go. It's time to get some new guys in there, some new faces, especially after how the year ended last year. So that's a very possible thing right there. Yeah, 40-0 next season, JoJo. If we did that, talk about the biggest turnaround in the history of sports. That'd be up there with that. And then, Andy, we get Orlando Antigua. Will our recruiting be back to the Wall days? We will match Illinois if we are the gold standard. That's a good point. When he was there, the players we were getting were, and like I said, every player that we've been getting since Cal's got there has been great, not great, but like really, really good and super talented. But obviously, when he started, the guys we were getting, example A, Anthony Davis, Karl-Anthony Towns, Devin Booker, John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, they were a different level. Even Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, like we just haven't had a guy like that. We've had obviously very talented guys, but just guys that are like this guy's this is a one and done guy, like 100%. He's imposing his will. No one can stop him. And once again, this is coming from a very spoiled Kentucky fan, but I just don't think we've had a guy like a Malik Monk or De'Aaron Fox since that cycle. I mean, you're very hard pressed to think of one. You might be able to think of one from a team, but not more than one. Like Kevin Knox was good. Just as far as a dominant guy like that who would just get a bucket every time. Can you think of one since that 2016-17 year? No, I guess Hero. Okay, fine. Once again, like I said, there's a lot of great players, but just I think we'd all agree we just have not had a consistent year-to-year getting a Towns or a Wall or guys like that, at least in my mind. And then Scott, hey, like I said, good to see you in here, Scott. I want to say I'm sorry a million times because I hated not being able to post stuff on and not doing a live stream sooner, just so you guys could know what was going on. But it's really good. It's really good to see a lot of you in here. I know there's so many that probably don't even know we're doing this. And if you're watching this back later on and you're not in here right now because you were doing something, don't worry about it. We'll be doing another live stream here really soon. And this next one, I will make sure I put out the thumbnail on like when it's going to happen at least a week ahead in advance. Okay. Just want to make a video just to update stuff and make sure we addressed all the stuff going on. Because like I said, there was so much. I had to make like a checklist here of everything that's been going on since the last live stream, which happens, it seems like years ago. And you are right. Okay, so Dylan, DJ Wagner, it's probably Wagner. Class of 2023, Cal coached his dad at Memphis, and we have his stepbrother. Oh, okay, that's who that is. Okay, his brother, Kareem Watkins. That's right. He's still walking on Kentucky, and if that's a connection there, then maybe that's why we had taken on Watkins in the first place. That'd be my guess. That's my immediate reaction to that situation. But stay on that one. That seems like that's a real possibility. If he really is his stepbrother, I would have to say I'm feeling very confident about landing that guy. I haven't seen any footage at all, but I feel good about landing that guy. And then, yeah, I mentioned that before. Is it Gaito Valcourt, about the guy from West Virginia? Yeah, Oscar Tshiebwe. He is without a doubt going to be one of the most dominant players, I think, on our team next year. He should be. He has every attribute and characteristic to be dominant next season. Shoot. And then Scott says, could it be they weren't ready for the intensity in competition at Kentucky? Oh, no, last season, without a doubt. There was a lot of things that was lacking from last season's team. Even with how good Mintz was playing and how much of a leader I thought he was, we did not have a true leader, and it showed. We had guys that were very good people and really, really talented basketball players, but you could just see that we were lacking that one true leader that would just call you out and say, like we're not losing this game. We didn't have that guy. Even though we had guys that no one wanted to lose in my mind. But we just did not have a Tyler Ulis or a guy that you knew was the leader and the go-to guy. Even though Mintz developed into a lot of those things late in the games, outside of him, there was not much of anything as far as I could say for that. Really? Come on. What are you doing? Dylan says the guy that reclassified this year and went to Tennessee was a cousin of Alex Poythress. Also, Cam committed to Florida State. Oh, good point. Goodness gracious. I totally forgot about Cameron Fletcher. He did. Cameron Fletcher was another departure from last season's team. Even though he's kind of suspended in the coach's doghouse all year, he did transfer to Florida State. So that was another guy that we lost from last season. But thank you for bringing that up, Dylan. I completely forgot about that. But that is really frustrating, though. If a cousin of Alex Poythress just went to Tennessee, I know that's where he's from, but did we have a chance at him? Hopefully, we at least had a chance at him. I mean, Poythress played at Kentucky for 4 years. You would think that relationship would make up something for recruiting. Scott says apparently Cal runs practice in a highly competitive way. I'm not saying practice might have been great. I mean, it seemed like Cal had been catching on some stuff, some issues before the year. I feel like he always says that, but it definitely seemed to be true last year. But I mean, you can't blame it all on one person. The blame has to go on Cal at the end of the day because he is the man getting paid. He is the one in charge. That's why so many times I'd say, like, I know he can't play in the court, but he's in charge. He's the one getting paid how much money, and that's where the blame has to go. And that's the tough part about being the coach. That's why they get paid so much, because it's either it's all good because of you or it's all bad because of you. It's just how it is sometimes. It also doesn't help when he's making comments about just like the fans wanting a tougher schedule, and once again, that's just how he is. But he just rubs me the wrong way sometimes, as you would hear during the season in our live streams. Hey, no worries, JoJo. I appreciate you coming in here. Really do appreciate you. You were the first one in here. The fact that you saw us come on is impressive. And I set this like 10, 15 minutes before I started. So really appreciate that, JoJo. I'll catch up with you in your next live stream. Sounds good, man. Scott, will you guys do a periodic streams in the off season? Yes. No, what I was going to say was we're still in May right now, and I still have to teach and finish this full-time job until the end of May. But I'll still be trying to do like a live stream here and there during the weekends. But once we get to June, there'll be some uploads and some live streams. I would like to get into a weekly live stream type basis thing where like we're doing a talk every single week, addressing the news for the week. And obviously, once the season gets closer, we'll be doing a live stream practically 3 times a week and videos a lot. But there's so much stuff. Like we're gonna have the yearly best and worst moments from the season's live streams. That video is going to be so long because there was just fail after fail after fail in our live streams. My voice is cracking. My dog's flying around the room. Other things happening in the background. That video will be coming soon. And obviously, I'll keep doing my hype videos whenever, for the next season. Player highlight videos, which I haven't done one yet for this past season. There's just the amount of content, and obviously the name of the channel, the reactions, all that stuff is coming. So be ready for that. I can't say exactly when it's going to come out, but just know it's going to be coming out, and I'm gonna be so happy when it all is out there at some point. UK reaction, or no, wait, my bad, I said that wrong. And then Slippy, good to see you in here. Yep, no, 100% about Clark. And we started out with that in the live stream, but no, it's good to see you, man. I think you might have been the one to comment when I made that post 2 weeks ago. I think it was either you or Jaden0054. It was one of you two. Either way, it's good to see you in here. Kentucky should have gotten JD Davidson. That's another familiar name. That's what I'm saying. With the transfer portal, it's not as easy as just having your list of recruiting guys from high school. There's just so many names, and guys are coming up out of nowhere. Like Jacob Toppin, when we got him last year, was like a day before. Like I just heard his name, and then he's committing the next day. Goodness, but yeah, it's crazy with how many names there are. And then Scott, in regards to the multiple player transfers. Oh no, for sure. Like if a guy commits and stuff like that, no, that without a doubt does. I will get back to that. So say if we land Ty Washington, or if Jackson comes back, or Mintz comes back, or Brooks comes back, we'll do a live stream for that without a doubt. So just know that. And then Dylan says he said he always wanted to go to UK because Alex played there. We need to look out for Tennessee this season with Brandon Huntley Hatfield and Kennedy Chandler. We were in the running for both. Kennedy Chandler was a guy that I thought we were going to land. Go back to my 2021 video where the guys I thought we were going to land, I think we didn't get any one of them, which just shows recruiting is a crazy thing, especially nowadays with all this virtual stuff. But that is without a doubt. I think Chandler. I liked how Chandler played in the footage I saw, and then both those guys we really had a chance to get, like you just said. That Hatfield guy, I thought we were 100% for at one point. We were also 100% for John Petty, Sr., which obviously he didn't go there. He went to Alabama and has been giving us heck for 4 years, 3-4 years, it feels like. Hey, what's going on, Landon? Glad to see you. I was just about to get off here in a few minutes, but no, it's good to see you come in here. Like I said, there's so many there's so many of you that are going to see this after I'm off, and I feel bad because I want to talk to all you guys. We will talk soon. That's for sure. But good to see you, Landon. How's school been going? How's life been for all you guys? Seriously, hopefully it's been good since the year's ended. Hey, no worries, Scott. Good to see you in here, man. Really appreciate you stopping in, especially on short notice. It's been a crazy, crazy time since the year's ended. But yeah, hopefully all you guys been doing great, staying healthy, and enjoying the weather. I mean, I know some of you guys are farther away than just Kentucky and Ohio, but it's been off and on great weather here. It's been some pretty cool days, but the past few days have been great going outside. It's been windy, but pretty good weather though. If you guys are around Ohio and Kentucky, I think Kentucky gets the same thing. There's a big cicada invasion that's going to be happening here in a couple weeks, pretty soon. I know it's totally off topic, but be ready for that. Landon says, it's been good. I've just done online work, missed seeing friends, though. Oh, that's right, dang. Did you guys not have in-person school? Because I'm actually teaching right now, and we're in school 5 days a week now. Before spring break, it was almost 5 days a week. We had Wednesday. It was a virtual day. But now it's back to 5 days a week. There's only a month left of school. But, yeah, it's nice to get back to a little bit of normalcy, even though we're still wearing masks, which wearing a mask all day with kids with masks on as well, it's just tough. You can't tell who's talking. People make noises, and I have to, it's hard. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. Ooh, Landon says, I'm getting some severe weather Monday in Kentucky. I think you're right. I saw a lot of rain this week, so stay safe if there is severe weather. Dylan, will there be UK football news on the channel since the roster is complete and the draft just ended? You know, I keep asking you guys if you guys want to see football content. Like I've told you a million times on this channel, I know some of you guys may not have heard this, but obviously we're huge Kentucky basketball fans, and we even root for Kentucky football as well. Our teams we root for are all around the place, so it might sound weird and fair weather fanish a little bit, but we are very loyal to our teams that we root for. We're also Alabama football fans. I know it sounds terrible, but we're also Browns football fans and Reds fans, and that equals it out with how bad they typically are. But we still root for Kentucky football. We definitely don't root against Kentucky football. So I might do a video if you guys want to see it. Just let me know in the comments of other videos. If you guys want me to do a video talking about which Kentucky players were drafted, because I saw a lot of Kentucky players get drafted, which is really good to see. And once again, SEC just dominates the draft without a doubt. It's insane the amount of Southeastern Conference players that get drafted each year. But yeah, if you guys want to see football content, let me know. I would like to start doing football live streams during the games. Just even if we were just talking about just the games in general of the day, basketball news, and we could do some plays, maybe not play by play, but just even during the games, so we can talk about the game while it's happening. But yeah, I'd be down for it. Just let me know if you guys want to see it. It would just be tough because I want to make sure, like I said, I don't want to ever do videos that I'm not going to put full 100% effort into. But I will definitely do football content if enough of you guys want to see it. But again, I saw a lot of Kentucky players get drafted yesterday. At least 3 or 4. Because I was watching the big board, and it felt like I saw a lot more Kentucky guys than I was expecting. And then Landon, my Cowboys drafted good in the NFL draft. Got my boy Kelvin Joseph. That's sweet. So you guys got a Kentucky player over there for your NFL team. Sweet. That's always nice when your favorite NFL team gets one of your favorite college football teams players. It's always a great thing when the Browns take any SEC guy, really, especially Kentucky and Alabama. But yeah, guys, just wanted to come on here and just do a little quick update live stream, all the new stuff going on, coaching moves again. The coaching staff as of now, so we still have Cal, we still have John Robick. I think it's how you say his last name. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. But it sounds like we will be hiring Orlando Antigua. And then as far as the roster goes, we're at 7 players with returning players Dante Allen, Lance Ware, and Jacob Toppin. And then you mix in Damian Collins, Bryce Hopkins, and Oscar Shibwe, Kellen Grady. that's our 7. And we're still waiting on Davion Mintz, Keon Brooks Jr., and technically Isaiah Jackson, even though he has already declared, but just not officially yet, as far as like hiring an agent, from what I've heard. And in my mind, I think he's gone. But hey, it's never over until it's completely over. And then I do think that we will be getting Davion Mintz and Keon Brooks Jr. back. I don't have any insider information on that as of right now, but from what I'm hearing in the sources I do trust, that may not be on the inside, but know what they're talking about, feel the same way. And that's actually one thing I've not mentioned yet, so I appreciate you saying that, Dylan. And Matthew, good to see you in here. Hey, don't be sorry. I'm the one that's been at fault, so you're totally fine. The fact that you're in here now is impressive. So thank you for stopping in, man. And I got one more guy out of Kentucky. Looks like Landon says that Quinnen guy. Hey, no worries, Landon. Good to see you, man. Hey, we'll talk soon. But Dylan says Brad Calipari coming to the staff as a grad assistant, and we're supposed to get Chin Coleman as an assistant as well. That's true. That it wouldn't just be Orlando Antigua. That's just the big name that obviously I know from the past from coaching Kentucky. But we will be hiring at least 2 more assistant coaches, if not 3. Like you said, Brad might be back. So, hey, enjoy that NASCAR race, Landon. Or hey, our Uncle Lee, who's a contributor on this channel, UK Reactions, is a big NASCAR fan. That starts at 3. Enjoy that a lot. Starts in about 30 minutes. But that would be something if we get Brad Calipari as an assistant coach. At least we avoided having to play him last season. I kind of wanted to watch that. Shoot. Arlie, get out of my drink. But you're right. I forgot about that. That is true. That's not fake. That is a strong possibility, especially with Cal being there. That's what Bruce Pearl's son did. He kind of took on a similar job at first when he moved on to coach with his dad at Auburn and Tennessee and Auburn. But anyways, guys, just want to come on here and see how you guys were doing. If you guys have any questions, definitely ask away right now. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. I actually have a basketball game here in about an hour. Kenny and I do for an adult league. Not the greatest competition, but it's something. It's kind of tough. Once you're out of high school, it's hard to find basketball leagues. Besides just playing at the park. Let's see. Dylan says, where do you think we stand in the preseason top 25 as of now? As of now, I mean, I guess based purely upon the incoming talent and who we have coming back, I think we're a top 25 team as of right now. With possible additions of Davion Mintz, Brooks, Isaiah Jackson, any other new guys coming in, we could, I think, move into the top 10 as usual. I mean, every year, I feel like every team's been in the top 10 as far as the preseason rankings go, at least on some lists. I know last year there was the doubters, and they probably loving life because they were actually right about it because we didn't really play that well last season, even though I still think that last season's team had the potential to be great, even though it never really panned out. Yes, that's a good – is Juzang returning or is he 100% gone, Dylan? If he came back, yeah, UCLA is – I mean, I couldn't argue that. They were unbelievable last year. Unbelievable. And if they get everybody back, even a few, you can't argue that. The way they played with a very small rotation was very, 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 very remarkable. Yeah, I feel like I'm forgetting one piece of news because we talked about the roster, recruiting. I'll do a separate video on with actual names because, again, I need to actually have some research and some notes written out before I start throwing around who's our top options and stuff. Because like you said, I've heard a lot of good names in this list and names that are definitely targets. But when it comes down to it, we have 7 players, and realistically, we'll probably only add 3, 4 at the most. I'll be shocked if we had 4. I would love to have 11 to 12 guys each year, but at least in the last few years, it's been typically 10 or below players. Every now and then 11, but it's hard to keep guys happy. Oh, okay, Don. So he took the same route as Isaiah Jackson, it seems like. Johnny Juzang put his name in the draft, but he left the option to where it's open for him to still return. That makes sense. That makes complete sense. Danny says, as soon as Orlando gets to his office, I say within a week the recruiting class will be locked up. I'm sure they have it set behind the scenes. That's true. That's true. That would be cool if we're waiting on Orlando to get hired and signed, and then we get guys to commit, maybe something like that. That would be cool. Even though like I said, I really, with the experience and how good they are, I would love to have Brooks, Mintz, and then one new guy join next year's team to complete our team. Jackson, I would not be opposed to getting back, but I just have a hard time believing a guy like Isaiah Jackson, who I even said last year was the one guy that could go pro, if he comes back. I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, hey, I will say Najee Harris of Alabama, I had 0% hope that he would come back for a senior year at Alabama, and he did. Believe it or not, I know there's a lot more position, there's a lot more players to choose from, but still, I don't know. That shocked me. So it's not impossible. And then Dylan Rydell says there's also an Iowa recruit from Kentucky in the portal and Shaver Wheeler, who we are rumored to get. Yes, we are in a position to possibly get him. Definitely a good guard, shooting guard. Seems like he's from Iowa, and I think I know who you're talking about. Even though, like I said, we need point guard right now. We need a point guard, which we can still get him and a point guard. But that's a possibility. Like I said, there'll be a video I'll make as long as our roster's not official yet, with the possible guys that we could be getting from not just recruiting in like the class of 2021, but also with the transfer portal, because that's, like I said before, it's a bigger pool right now of guys in the actual 2021 class at this point, I think. But yeah, guys, just wanted to close it off and just say thanks for tuning in. I apologize once again for like literally being gone for practically, what has it been now? April, basically 2 months. It's completely on me. I let my 3 jobs, the main job I work and then the 2 smaller ones, take over a little bit too much, and I lost track of this. But once we get to June, there'll be a lot more videos coming out. Even in the month of May, I'll try to get a couple of uploads out there for you guys to catch up with recruiting and just catch up with the news in video format, not just live stream. And then also starting in June, hopefully in the summertime, we'll get into a more consistent live stream schedule. And obviously, once we get closer to October, we'll get back into our typical and usual schedule of games and events and all the stuff going on with the news with Kentucky basketball. So appreciate you guys coming in here, and I hope all you've been doing great. It's really good to see a lot of you that were in here, but if you weren't able to make it in, definitely want to say I'm sorry to all you guys, and I'm looking forward to talking to all you guys soon. And definitely leave in the comments what you guys want to see more of, what kind of videos you want me to see focusing on once I'm done teaching here a little bit for the summer. And yeah, I'm really excited to see a lot of you guys and catch up soon. And definitely have to get back into my flow of actually talking on live stream. It's been too long being on here. And then Andy says, I think it's a key to get off to a hot start next season. Yes, that's a very good point. So in a video talking about what we need to do next season, I'll probably be replicating what you just said, Andy, without a doubt. Yeah, you have to get off to a hot start. You cannot let last season spill into this coming season at all. But anyways, guys, have a great rest of your Sunday. Have a good week, and stay safe out there. There's severe weather coming through. I know a lot of you guys are either from Kentucky or Ohio, but hey, not all you are. But if you are, I know I'm from Ohio, and we have some stuff coming in here. It seems like, I think Landon was right about that. At least a couple of days of some severe weather, but it's this time of year. It's some storms and wind and typical weather events going on around the month of May and June. And yeah, so I'm just talking about random stuff right now. But anyways, though, have a great week, guys. And I will be definitely live streaming again soon. Lots of videos to come. And I'm glad Kenny was able to stop in for a little bit. BK was able to stop in for a bit. But yeah, once again, I really do appreciate all you sticking around, despite me being MIA for literally practically 3 months now. And just keep staying patient, guys. And once I'm able to get on this more consistently, there'll be so much stuff for you to see, and hopefully you guys will enjoy a lot of the content that will be coming soon. Because the reaction stuff, I've been just I think about every single day, honestly, getting out there for you guys. Andy Chin, what part of Ohio? You're in Mansfield. I'm from Cincinnati, like Hamilton area. Lower, it's like just right next to Kentucky, really. I know my like location-based knowledge of where things are is terrible as well. But anyways, guys, have a great week, and I will definitely talk to you all soon. And thanks for stopping in. And yeah, just stay safe, guys. And any new news coming up with Kentucky basketball, we'll be doing live streams and videos, just like usual. And I'm not going anywhere. The channel's still here. And yeah, we're all good, and hopefully you're all good too. But thanks for stopping in, guys, and I will talk to you all soon. I don't have my Wildcat anywhere. I have a basketball, but go Big Blue. Actually, should I with that? Make sure. Yep. Thanks for stopping in, guys. I'll talk to you all soon. Go Big Blue.